Alvin. I'm joined with the Hall of Famer, Dick Van Horn, and our producer, director, Kevin Willie. We're working on the audio right now. But it looks like we're going to have the Arvin Bears at 3-5 on offense first. Foothill Trojans at 5-3 on defense. Coach, what do we expect out of the night?
Well, you're going to see a run-dominated Foothill offense with that double wing. When they like to throw it, they'll break it up. But Arvin, you're going to see the ball thrown around a little bit. They've got a quarterback and a receiver, Brooks, who's maybe the best combination in town.
Well, Arvin coming off a tough 27-28 loss to Golden Valley. You know they got to be itching to get at it. You know, and he'll have an opportunity first on offense. The Trojans sitting at 5-3. They've had some interesting offensive displays, but it's mostly dominated by that ground game. They're coming off a 36-0 win versus Del Oro.
This is a big game for Foothill because they can clinch a co-championship tonight with a win here against Arvin.
All right, you know, it's always beautiful to see teams playing for something. And I had an opportunity to cover this Foothill team a few weeks ago with Renegade Rob when they had Delano in town. They ran into an amazing quarterback that night in Weezar. He had 7 touchdowns that night. You could tell it was just a contrast of styles, and it took them out of the position to dominate with the run game because they had to start doing something different. This time, a little better matchup. We'll see what's happening with the Trojans. All right, but 1st and 10, Arvin. They're going to go jet sweep to the left.
Well, Foothill's definitely the power on the east side this year, beating East, Del Oro, and Miramonte. We saw the Miramonte game. That was a pretty good game for 3 quarters.
Absolutely.
I mean, Foothill pulled away.
Coach, you make a great point because we always say the records don't dictate how great these games are, especially for you and me when we're up in the booth.
Yeah, these are rivalry games. These guys are, 5 miles apart?
5 miles apart on the same block.
Yeah. One thing Foothill's got to do, they got to know where Brooks is. Xavier Brooks, he's got 37 catches on the season. So you can see already they're kind of shadowing him with Will Martin, probably their best athlete on the team at corner. Martin also doubles up as Foothill's best receiver.
Yeah, we saw him make some fantastic catches in that game versus Delano. Right now, you got an important 3rd down conversion. Twins left for Arvin. There goes that quick screen in traffic, and uh-oh.
And that's Brooks. We told you about him. And he may be going for 6. It looks like he's gone. 30, 20, 10, touchdown.
No flags on the play. Touchdown. And just like Coach Van Horn, the Hall of Famer, always does, he got his crystal ball out early on the first drive.
75 yards on that one. Rosales to Brooks.
Coach, you couldn't even get the sentence out of your mouth. We were still working on the audio over here, and you said, watch Xavier Brooks. And that rocket screen was thrown in traffic, too. That was a nice catch.
He made it. Moving forward, hit that seam, and he was gone.
Wow. So the Arvin Bears, you heard it. You know, Coach, you talked about they were going to have to do things in the air against this team, and that's a nice display on that first drive. Arvin Bears. Roar. Kick is up. Kick is good. We'll stay here because we're just getting started. We haven't even had a chance to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, as well as our staff at the current high school district superintendents, along with our boss, the Hall of Famer Stan Green. Saw Stan at the Bakersfield Jockey Club this past week. He's always moving around. But we definitely thank him for putting us in a position to cover these great events, Coach.
Yeah, they do a great job and with their support. And
all right, we also want to thank the Foothill administration, Principal Sidney Peterson, AP of Instruction, Sogwik Brutain. I'm going to have to meet him so I can ask how to pronounce that the right way. Sogwik Brutain, the AP of Instruction, AP of Administration, Doug Burdick, Dean of Student Behavior, Ryan Aldrich, and Lindsay Weichel, Athletic Director Mike Bizod, and Activities Director Lisa Granada. All right, so big night in sports, but nothing bigger than this game right here for Foothill because, like you said, they could clinch a league championship with a win.
That's right.
A co-league championship?
They can clinch a co. They can win it outright if they win next week and tonight. Arvin is not out of it either. So Arvin can finish 3-1, run the table, and get a co-championship.
Did you say that was a 75-yard? How
75.
75?
That was an amazing play, too, on that rocket screen because it like the corner on the outside read it very well. He tried to come up.
But he got blocked.
He got blocked. Yeah, that was an amazing design.
The thing about Foothill is they've got the kind of offense, they don't flinch. You score on us, okay. No big thing. We're going to get the ball back, and we're just going to drive it down the field, yard by yard.
And they run that wing tee with some tempo, too. So once they get rolling, it could be a long night for you if you're not ready to tackle.
Yeah.
This one's going to be taken at the 15. A nice move. Oh, and tripped up by the defender.
Isaiah Daniels on the return for Foothill. Like I said, the worst thing that Foothill can do is flinch and start going into the bucket a little too soon. They don't need to right now. They know what they have on offense, and they've done very well this season.
Yeah, they have a confident offense and a few tough players. We'll get into some of that individual personnel. Right now it's 1st and 10, double wing set. They go inside power. And now a pancake, great blocking. All the way out to the 42-yard line. That's what you like to see for an offensive line coach.
Gain of 5 on first down. That's what they want. They're looking to second 5. They got more than they wanted.
We talk about run teams being 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You start giving up 6 and 7 on first down, it's going to be a tough night. Toss sweep right. They're going to have first down yardage, coach, and right away they're moving the chains.
Yeah. Like I said, they're not going to flinch in this offense. They know it's not a quick strike offense. It takes time. On the other hand, Arvin's got to match them touchdown for touchdown.
Toss sweep left, and that speed gets outside, and that's nice blocking by the receiver across the 40 to the 37-yard line.
We got on top of that horse collar.
Got the horse collar that's going to go on top of that, Coach. Who was that on the ball carry?
That was Martin Velasquez. He's he and Trevino are the main ball carriers, but I tell you what, Ishmael Ramirez, the quarterback, and Will Martin aren't a bad combination on the outside. We saw that earlier a couple weeks ago against Miramonte. Will Martin had about 8 catches for 100 yards.
Absolutely. He was our player of the game that night,
That's
if I'm
right.
not mistaken. You know, so and it goes to highlight the beauty of getting the multiple opportunities to cover these kids, to see the consistency from some of them that don't get the coverage that a lot of the other big schools get. All right, chains are not set up yet, but we got a toss sweep left.
That's
and he's still on his feet.
Oh, another first down. We did get a reporter before the game that Martin suffered a bruise in his thigh and was questionable for tonight, but he did play defense.
Yeah, I saw the Chief down there. He told me he had a baseball-sized lump in his.
So you might not see him on offense except for when they break the wing and go to their spread offense.
And, Coach, how well and efficient they look right now, they may not be having to do that if Arvin can't find a way to keep them from getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah. And they're not afraid to break that double wing. They've already thrown for 1,100 yards. For a double wing team, throwing for 1,100 yards, that's a lot.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what's beautiful about Ramirez, too. He doesn't throw it a lot, but when he does, he's very efficient, 61% completion.
We got the big boy there, 55, Nathan Arvalo, wearing 55 in the backfield, lined up at fullback.
And Nathan Arvalo is one of the toughest kids on the field in one of the contests I had here earlier in the season. Unfortunately, he got tossed out of the game.
Uh-oh.
And that ended up being a huge issue for the defense once he left the field. But they go toss Power again, Coach. And that's nice, tough running, but a good tackle by the outside backer for the Bears. Looks like that was number 20. Salvador Rea, the junior linebacker. But that tempo again, Coach, they go right back to that Power, trying to be quick, and they get enough for the first down.
That's Velasquez again.
And, Coach, the funny thing about their tempo, I'm looking at stats and info, just trying to highlight how well these guys did in previous games, and you miss a snap with that tempo that they have. Very reminiscent of some other teams that I didn't like in the past, in the 90s. All right, 1st and 10, double wing set for Ramirez. Toss Power again, a nice
That's
block.
Trevino.
Amazing power play, and it's a touchdown for Trevino.
Trevino with about a 13-yard touchdown run. Right off tackle. It's that power pitch.
We have an injured Bear player down, so we'll take the injury timeout and be back for the extra point on Kern High Network right after this. All right, welcome back.
Well, you're talking about the most important game for Foothill. There's another game going on right now. Might be important to some other people in the stands. The Dodgers are losing 11-2 in the 7th inning.
Oh.
Foothill with a 2-point conversion. Anthony Perez, the big 6'2", 220-pound tight end. He kind of bowled that over, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And that's the other thing we're going to see. You're going to see Foothill go for 2 quite a bit.
That could be the difference maker in the game, because for an Auburn team that scores that fast, if you're not being able to match them with those 2-pointers,
yeah,
man, that's going to be a tough night. That was a very impressive drive by Foothill, Coach. But getting back to that Blue Jays Dodgers score, it was 2-0 when I left the house. I was like, yeah. I put my Dodger hat on. 11 runs later, I'm on Fairfax.
Woo!
Oh. Whoa. All right, Foothill, the Trojans, up 8-7. Kick is going to be taken at the 11, and that's nice blocking inside. And a great tackle at the 30-yard line. Falls forward to the 35, or it'll be 1st and 10 Bears.
Look like Jaden Cisneros for Arvin on the return.
You know, so speaking of big games, Coach, a couple of big games across town as well. You got BCHS versus Indy. Got the Drillers versus Ridgeview.
So when I'm coming up 58, the east side was lit up. East High's got a home game, Foothill's got a home game, and Miramonte's got a home game.
Nice. Great play in the backfield by the
That was Anthony Perez again.
Whoa.
Coming off the edge.
Anthony Perez, he's a big-time influence on that defense as well.
He sure is.
5-yard loss makes it 2nd and 15.
He's a senior. He might be able to help those Renegades next year.
Well, I mean, the way things have panned out so far, we need all the help we can get. We have a timeout on the field. It's going to be a timeout for the Trojans. We'll stay here. It gives us a chance to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union. Also, the boss man, Stan Green, and the Curtin High School District Superintendent staff, Deanna Ribbons, and the rest of our staff in the office that help push the buttons and twirl the knobs. Got our director, Julian Wilson, over at that Indy game with Coach Cornford and Vance Paul.
You know, you were talking about Foothill barely eking out well, they lost last week in a 1-point game to West High. And Arvin lost a 1-point game to Golden Valley last week. Brooks out wide on the right. They're going to throw it.
Oh, it's tipped. Oh, it's picked off. Ball is tipped. Great pressure in the backfield by number 11.
24.
Oh, that was number 24 that made the play.
Ulysses Vargas.
Wow.
That's what you can't have if you're Arvin.
Wow.
Foothill got good pressure on him. It looked like the ball, he was hit at the same time he was throwing, so he kind of threw up a duck.
Well, Coach, you talked about the pressure that they've been providing off the edge. They definitely got there that time, and that's a huge turnover for the Trojans. And now they're going right back to the ground with a 5-yard gain.
Marvello, it's about his 3rd carry already.
He's definitely the passionate team leader.
His job is to soften up that interior of the Arvin defense.
Power to the left side. Nice blocking.
Nice job by Arvin. By a host of Bears. Number 9, led by number 9, their leading tackle, Gustavo Parra.
Parra, the junior.
Parra and Leon, number 5, their leading defenders.
All right, Coach, 3rd and 6 for the Arvin Bears with 5 minutes to play in this first quarter, trailing 1. Or actually 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4, but you're in 4-down zone for Foothill. And there you go.
Little chess match.
It's going to be offsides on Arvin. So that should be a 1st down. And it is.
Coach Weddle winning the chess match so far as they convert on that 3rd and 4. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the Kern High Network. We'll try to get you guys some score updates of the other contests as the night moves on, but right now it's Foothill looking to take control.
You got about 11 guys in the box. Look for that.
Oh, nice job on the power, and I'm telling you,
So when your Arvin's got about 11 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, Foothill's going to pop that little tight end. Well, they're going to go a double reverse there. Trevino on the carry. Now it's going to be about 3rd and 1. Oh, they're going to give him a first down.
Wow, so the offensive line of the Trojans putting in dividends. 1st and 10. Going to be tackled for a loss of 1. Great pursuit led by number 20, Salvador Rhea. Again, he's been active.
And that's Xavier Brooks in on that one. So he's pulling double duty tonight.
Xavier Brooks already has the 75-yard rocket screen touchdown. But right now,
Trevino, he went down.
Trevino gets about 5. Going to be a nice run that brings up 3rd and 6.
Talking about Brooks, he's pulling double duty. He's playing middle linebacker too.
I mean, you got to love.
Yeah, 5'11", 170. So he's a guy, if he gets the ball on the outside, he's not going to go down.
We've already seen the explosive speed too. 3rd and 6. You got movement again by the Bears.
Takes you right where Foothill wants you. 3rd and a long 1.
Coach Weddle calling a nice game offensively so far. Got the Bears on their heels, Coach. 3rd and 1. Oh, and they dropped the ball. Snap is dropped. And that's going to be recovered by the Bears.
Wow.
So on the 3rd and 1, Ramirez bobbles the snap. It turns into a turnover when they had all the momentum. 1st and 10 Bears.
Wow. Had the chance to go up. And when you go, if you're a double wing team, you go up 1, 2 touchdowns, it is tough for the opposition to come back because the time of possession is so much in favor of the double wing.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we have a timeout on the field. Gives us a chance to take another timeout here on Kern High Network with 3 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. All right, welcome back to Kern High Network, live from the land of the Trojans. Arvin Bears. Coach, you hate to see that after a timeout too, right?
You do, and it happens. A little wing coming around for a little inside handoff, slipped. Kind of left the quarterback in no man's land. By that time, Foothill's all over him.
All right, so the Bears behind the chains come out and the trip's right.
Look for the little quick screen here. Nope.
Oh, nice catch. Going to have it at the 15-yard line.
Still going to be short of her first down, but that's Brooks.
And Brooks looked like he took a huge shot.
He took a couple of them there. I was just talking about how tough he was, too.
Hey, if he gets up from this, he's definitely tough because he got whacked a couple times, Coach.
He just got the air knocked out of him, I'm betting.
All right, so injury timeout, but we'll stay here. Definitely want to thank the principal, Sidney Peterson, AP of Instruction, Mr. Brutan, AP of Administration, Doug Burdick, Dean of Student Behavior and Supports, Ryan Aldrich, and Lindsey Weichel, Athletics Director, Mike Baizad, and Activities Director, Lisa Granada. All right, so like we said, Coach, I mean, Brooks is tough. He took 2 huge shots, got pinballed in there after making the tough catch, but puts them in a position with a makeable third down conversion with 3rd and 4. Full house backfield for the Bears. Handoff inside. That's going to be stopped short.
That's going to bring up a 4th down, about 4. I don't know if they want to go for it down here.
Wow, so kudos to the Trojan defense finding a way to get a stop and force this punt by the Bears after that turnover. You basically avoid any disaster.
Foothill has to line up and do it again.
You know, this is a Foothill team that's playing with some character after some rough previous years. You got to love how they answered the call after that turnover.
Yeah. We've seen some fake punts from Arvin in the last couple years, and they usually put their best athlete back there to kick the ball.
That was a beautiful punt, and that's going to be taken and caught at the 46-yard line. Dangerous catch by number 9. It'll be 1st and 10, Trojans.
Give Martin some kudos on that, because if he would have let that ball go the way it was kicked, it would have been a Arvin roll for about 20 yards.
And talk about the guts to catch it like that going to the ground. That's a dangerous play, but he made that look easy. Calm under pressure for Mr. Martin.
And he didn't lose any yards.
You know, every broadcast, Coach, when I'm not with you, that's one of the things that we talk about every week is finding guys that have confidence to catch those punts.
That's right.
Oh, inside trap reverse. Nice play.
Nice first down play by Foothill. Trevino gains about a good 7 out of that.
And they're right back to the line, Coach. 2nd and 4 for Ramirez. They go toss power left again. Nice job by that Arvin Bears defense getting the stop. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Yeah, anytime Arvin can stop Foothill for 3 or less, that's a win for them.
All right, so with 10 seconds left in this first quarter, that looks like that's going to be the last play. So we'll take a quick break and come back with second quarter action live from the land of the Trojans on Kern High Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kern High Network, live from Foothill High School as the Trojans have a 1-point lead over the Arvin Bears. I'm Kenny Calvin. I'm joined with my Hall of Fame coach, Rick Van Horn, and our producer-director, Kevin Willie. Very important third down for the Trojans, trying to establish some of that consistency again after getting the ball back, Coach. Handoff inside to the big man, and he's going to be right at the sticks.
This is going to be a 4-down zone if they don't get it.
And he's going to have it, Coach.
That was close.
You got to admire Arvaldo, one of the toughest kids in the locker room. But what I like most about him is his passion. Every team needs a guy that's going to run through a brick wall. He's that guy for the Foothill team. 11:30 to play in the second quarter. Fresh set of downs for the
There he
Trojans.
goes. There's the pop pass.
And there he is.
He's got to run that one.
Nice recovery by that corner.
I'll tell you what, Arvin did a great job on that. They lull you to sleep with that double wing, handoff, pitch sweep, and they try to, as tight as Arvin's playing, 11 guys within 5 yards. Some guys get lost, start looking in the backfield.
2nd and 6 for the Trojans. Right back to that power to the left side. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 2, and it looks like we have another Arvin Bear down on the field with 11 minutes to play in the second quarter.
Looked like Arvin was signaling. They recovered the ball, but to no avail.
All right, so it's not an injury. Maybe he was putting his shoe on. That's good news. But it's going to be a 3rd and 1 for the Trojans. Trojans in that double wing T set.
Quarterback sneak by Ramirez. Looks like he's got the first down.
Coach, you talked about them doing exactly what they want to do. 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and winning on first down has been very successful for them.
Yeah, you know, 3 yards is all they want. 3 times 4 is 12, and that's a first down.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Trojans, and Ramirez. Toss sweep goes right. It's going to be another 4-yard, maybe 5-yard gain.
That's Trevino again.
Tough thing about that offense, Coach, is it's so deceptive. It looks like it's not a whole lot happening, and you look up.
But very patient offense, and on defense, it gets you frustrated because it's just you're playing the game in a phone booth down there. So they get very frustrated because it just happens to go tackle to tackle, and that gets boring after a while.
All right, there's that play
got
action
him
pass,
behind
and he
him.
had him. Pass is deep. It's going to be caught for a touchdown. Amazing pass.
Luis Correa.
Talk about putting it on the spot.
I was wondering if Ramirez was going to get it to him.
Coach, he put that ball right where it needed to be, inside the pylon.
Away from the defender.
And what makes that throw even more special, he had a little pressure in his face when he released it too.
Receiver did a nice job. He got by the DBs at about 12 yards, and then he
Conversion is good. So the Trojans up 16 over the Bears 7. So, Coach, we'll stay here.
And that was Anthony Perez, a big tight end, number 1 again. But on that touchdown throw to Correa, got by the DB, and he knew he had to bend it out because he saw that roll. Ramirez was rolling to his right, so he had to get away from that DB, and he did a good job doing that.
And, Coach, that highlights our point that we talked about earlier. It's a running team, but when he has to throw it, he puts it exactly where it needs to go. That's why he's at 60% on the year.
Yeah.
You ask your quarterback to be at 60% on the year. That's a pretty good year for a quarterback. And I'd say it's a great one for a kid like him that doesn't get to throw it a lot.
And that was their first actual pass. They attempted 2, but Ramirez ended up running on the first one. It was 1 for 1 with a touchdown.
All right, so the squib kick is going to be bobbled again. It's going to be dangerous. Can't keep doing that, but they do. He's still on his feet, rumbling. Across the 40. Going to be taken down at the 41 where it'll be 1st and 10 Bears.
Julian Sarabia for Arvin, number 21.
Whew, I got to look up some specs on him, Coach, because he was rumbling. They don't have his height and weight right there, but, man, it looked like he was tough to bring down.
Important series for Arvin coming up. They give the ball back to Foothill, and Foothill does what they're doing. Could be a long night.
Quarterback rolls left, looks left. Now he's going to be sacked. Great play in the backfield, and that's going to be number 1, Anthony Perez.
Little post corner by Brooks. Took a little too long. Rosales was ready to throw the ball, but Brooks was still in his route. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 15.
You know, it's going to be interesting for the Bears to see if they can find a way to protect because that pressure you mentioned has been getting there. Trips right. Middle screen is going to be tipped, and another one is going to be nearly intercepted.
Trying to set up the screen. Foothill D-line did a good job getting your hands up.
Amazing job getting their hands up, Coach. We on the defensive side of the football, we're teaching our defensive linemen as you establish contact and you can't get back there, extend the arms, look, get those hands up.
Yeah.
Great coaching.
If you're not going to get to that quarterback, at least get your hands up.
Huge 3rd down for Arvin. Oh, and this drop. They had a man.
They had Brooks open. A rare drop by Brooks.
So the Bears will have to punt again. And like you said, Coach, they had opportunity there. He broke off that skinny post.
He flattened it out to a bit, then to that bench route. And that's against double coverage by Foothill.
Right. You got to like the ball placement. Got to come down with that catch. Brooks usually will.
So we got to keep your eye on Brooks. He's the punter.
Oh, yeah. 4th and 15 with that speed. If anybody can run, he could. Talk about an athlete. Beautiful punt by Brooks. And that's going to be down by Martin. It would be 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for the Trojans. So, Coach, one of my favorite things to do when we have these historic broadcasts, and Kev, is talk about the history and the players that wore the jerseys prior to, I always talk about Joey because we're the same age, and, we lived on the same street in Brown Street when he was growing up here. Just by happenstance, my grandma passes, and I have to go move with an aunt, and I end up playing across town, and he comes here. But also another name that synonymous with Foothill, Danny Clark, because I played with his son, Brett Clark. Dan Clark, I heard he was the strongest player on this team when he played for Foothill.
Foothill was on a roll back in the early 70s. Dan Clark was a big part of that. Big old lineman. Had a big old son who was a big old lineman. Who we both know.
Shout out to Mr. Clark.
That was when, Blackford and Lonnie Shelton was just leaving, but Grigsby and Jeff Houghton and
wow.
They ran the roost back then.
That's it, and that's why I bring that up because every generation there's players that dominated in our younger generation. Yeah. We don't know these names because we don't get to see it. It's not a lot of footage of it, right? We've got to love to bring those names back out. Lonnie Shelton, Seattle Supersonic.
Yeah.
Legend.
Who was a great football player.
Wow. And you never hear about that. Nobody ever talks about Lonnie Shelton, the football player. Yeah. We got to dig into that one day. 3rd and 7 for the Trojans. Wow. All right. Well, see even the Foothill offense wants to hear more history after the false start.
So Foothill's been playing a very clean game. That's, I believe, their first penalty.
Very clean, very efficient offensively.
Yeah. And this is
I've been watching him. Number 4, jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Up until right, and then he'll stop, and then that's what always draws him off on the offsides.
And that number 4, he's talking about
Trevino.
Andrew Trevino.
Well, that's if you're on defense, you're Arvin. You really got to, your eyes are giving rules to who you're watching, and you start watching that wing, it'll draw you off sides like it has already 3 times for Arvin. All right, they break the wing for the first time.
Ramirez with the out route is going to be incomplete, and and now you got a late hit by number 3, Aaron Lopez. And that's going to extend the drive.
Man, I don't know about that one.
I agree, Coach, because it was within the flow of the play, right?
Right. And I didn't see any extra activity involved in that one. That contact was made in playing field and happened to be carried to the out of bounds. But there was no extra pushing or.
Yeah, it was actually – Coach, as he was coming down on the coverage, just pushed him. And sometimes things look a little worse than what they really are.
We talked about that was the first time Foothill was chasing the chains. Now, that didn't last long because now that's going to give them a first down on about the 43-yard line. They're up 16-7 with 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Talk about stubbing your toe too, Coach, because, you've already had a couple of rough series and you're finally about to get off. Then you get that penalty from the secondary.
Yeah.
Right back to the ground goes the Trojans, and that's another 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah. Every possession for Arvin is important because they can't let Foothill get up by 2 touchdowns because they'll get that ball and they'll just go 3 yards. And while they're doing that, guess what that clock's doing?
Chop it. Power to the right side again. Great job by that defense.
Now that's a win for Arvin defense there.
Wow. Number 21 on the tackle, Julian Sarabia. Amazing job. Also there on the play, looked like number 9, Gustavo Parra. He's made a few plays at that outside backer position.
Talking about 21, Sarabia. He's the one that returned the kickoff for Arvin. But talking about old numbers, 21 was worn by Salas.
Oh,
Louis Salas.
Louis Salas. Got you,
The
Mr.
crackback-
Salas.
The crackback king.
Wow, Mr. Salas wore 21. Oh, a little confusion. And that's going to cause that to be barely a 1 yard gain. So quick question, Coach. Is that the same Louis Salas that's working at Bakersfield High?
I don't know.
Wow.
That's 2 wins for Arvin's defense in a row. It's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for Foothill, and they're going for it. 4:14 left on the clock. They're going to. Oh, I think they held him.
Wow.
I think that's going to be an Arvin first down.
Arvin Bears with the turnover on downs. And, I got it, Coach. Louis Salas, that's my man from probation. He works at the probation department. That's my guy. His daughter's a BC baseball player.
Okay.
He actually got me involved with Kern County Department of Probation to go over and speak to some of the high-risk offenders about life choices and help me get that contract. I was thinking about the Mr. Salas that works because I just got off work, guys. I was thinking about the special ed department, not the Kern County Probation. All-star Louis Salas. He was unstoppable. Inside trap, and now the Bears with some blocking, 1 man to beat. Nice touchdown saving tackle.
Aaron Lopez, and that was the play that, if you remember, when they were inside the 5, that he slipped on that one. That was the play they were going to run.
Wow. So, I mean, we bring up our man Louis Salas, and right away we see some Salas-type scat back there. He's an amazing athlete. His son was an amazing athlete at Highland as well. Ended up going to Cal State baseball. Pass behind the receiver is going to be incomplete.
Oh, we got a flag down. In the Foothill secondary.
Got to wonder if that's going to be a hold, Coach, as he's coming across. Looks like Brooks is loving the energy down there, saying that somebody's holding me. Oh, and it's going to be on the offense. Wow. You know, so it's interesting, Coach, because that was the line of scrimmage. Quarterback rolled and dropped back, but that hold was right at the line of scrimmage. That's why it looked like it was the secondary, and that's a devastating penalty.
Well, it looked like the flag came from the secondary, so I figured it was against Foothill. Maybe there was another one thrown close to the line of scrimmage. 3:29 left in the second quarter. Foothill 16, Arvin 7.
All right, twins right for the Bears. Quarterback rolls right, slings it out, and that's caught. Nice hands catch. Gets right past the line of scrimmage.
And they're double covering Brooks out there. So they got him somebody short and somebody deep.
That was a nice pass, Coach.
Nice pass and nice catch, yeah.
Yeah, nice hands, strong hands catch. Pulled it down, tucked it in. You know, that you can tell that he was thinking about that drop dig route that he had earlier, how he pulled that down and tucked it in. Young receivers, fingers together, see the ball, tuck it away.
Yeah.
Zone read inside. It's going to be a nice run. And look at the offensive line blocking 25 yards down the field. Got to love it.
We've got a flag down in the Arvin backfield. Face mask against Foothill.
Wow, so a tough face mask against Foothill. But right now, I'm blown away. by the effort of Mariano Perez. Coach, we got to give the big fellas some love in the trenches because he was blocking that safety 25 yards down the field. I used to hate seeing those big linemen coming to get us out there in the secondary. I'm like, what you doing out here?
Well, that's where you got to dip and rip and get past them.
QB looks right. Has a man. It's going to be incomplete. 2:25 remaining to play in the first half. Bears trailing 16-7, looking to strike.
It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bears from about the 22-yard line of Foothill.
All right, so we talked about some Foothill legends. I'll throw Arvin legend out there again. You talked about Luis Salas. I always got to represent for my team captain, Hernan Santiago. Probably the best linebacker I played with in college. That ball's going to be handed off, and that's a nice play in the backfield.
Yeah, Foothill did a great job there. That last time they ran that play, they got about 30 yards off it. I'm trying to look at the number there. Couldn't tell if that was 22 for Foothill. Noah Davis, sophomore.
That's actually like a nephew. Shout out to the Davis family. Coach Davis's dad is one of the JV coaches.
Third and 13. Swing it out here.
Woo! Nice way to finish the run.
Foothill's got those funny numbers. It's tough to read, too.
Yeah, and that's why I keep pulling out the binoculars. We'd love to get you guys some names. But that was a nice, tough run by number 6. Alejandro Osorio. Was only, didn't get the first down, but the way he punished that DB that tried to come up and tackle him, man.
4th and a long 3 for Arvin. 59 seconds left.
It's crucial for the Bears in this position, right, Coach?
It is, and if you're Foothill, what don't you want to do? Jump off sides here. Don't give them a free play.
Full house backfield for the Bears. Oh, and they go speed option, and it's dangerous, and they don't get the ball. Wow, and that's going to be turnover on downs as the speed option left goes awry. Great stop.
Almost an ugly play for Arvin because Ulysses Vargas, number 24 for Foothill, almost picked it up on a good bounce. If he would have slipped, that was to the house there.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this, Coach. When Coach Riley go back and look at that film, he's not going to be too happy with that running back because it looked like he gave up on the play. Looked like he stopped running towards the ball like he knew it was just going to bounce out of bounds, and it was one step away from being scooped and scored.
Yep.
Wow.
34 seconds left. Looked like Foothill's going to break their wing here, and they're going to air it out a little bit.
All right, we got movement
on Foothill.
All right, so that backs the Trojans up with 32 seconds left to play. They have a 16-7 lead here on Kern High Network. I want to thank our sponsors at Valley Strong Credit Union, also our boss, Stan Green, staff at the Kern High School District Superintendent's Office, our other broadcast team across town. We're going to have to get some score updates. Hopefully the Dodgers try to dig into that 11-point lead, 9-point lead.
Well, we've got a score from Liberty. Liberty Garces, 14-14.
Whoa.
Second quarter, 9 minutes left.
Oh, my goodness. We got a good one going on across town. All right, so Ramirez keeps it. He's trying to get outside. He's going to be tackled. Nice tackle
by Brooks.
Brooks is all over the place right now.
Yeah. I think if I was Coach Waddell, I would have just saved it and took it to the locker room, not have your quarterback out there running the ball.
I agree. I mean, definitely don't want to get a weapon like him hurt. You know, you definitely have some skill on the outside and guys like Martin where if you had better field position, you want to take a shot. But
yeah. You know, Foothills, I just noticed those lights. See those low lights on both sides?
Yes.
That's tough for a receiver, especially when you're looking back. If you're out wide looking back in at the quarterback. Wow.
I was just thinking that.
It's tough for a camera operator, too.
Wow. I don't know what those are for.
I was thinking the same thing because as I'm looking over there at the line of scrimmage, I can't even see the down marker based on the glare.
Yeah, if you look at the light, you can't. 24 seconds left. Foothill's got second and about 12.
Flop the tight end to the left side and go trips right. Ramirez looks right.
Wow.
And he takes another huge hit.
Wow, that's two plays in a row that Ramirez is taking shots for no reason, because what's going to happen, you're going to run out the clock here, and he kind of took those for nothing.
All right, so that will do it for the first half of action. The Trojans coming back, scoring 16 unanswered points to take the first half lead to the locker room. We'll be back with second half action on Kern High Network.
Taking the field, the Trojan Marching Band and Color Guard. Tonight, the band will be performing 3 out of 4 of their new show this year, Prisoners of Time. They're finishing getting set up. We'll be back with you in just a brief moment. Drum majors, Joshua Slicker and Rafael Coro, is your band ready? Trojans, you may take the field in halftime exhibition.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to second half action live from the land of the Trojans, Ned Permenter Field. And happy birthday, Coach Ned Permenter. That's one of the things we forgot to say. How can we forget to say that? We didn't get to go down and talk to Coach today. That's why I kind of forgot to say it at the beginning. But I don't know if it was today or this week, but happy birthday, Coach Permenter. I'm sorry I gave you those 2 losses in front of about a combined 35,000 people in both years.
That's going to be Will Martin on the return for Foothill. Going to bring it up to about the 25.
And we talked about – go ahead, Coach.
Foothill offense has been quiet second quarter, so they're up 16-7. Start of the third quarter. If you're Arvin, again, this is a big possession. Can't let Foothill go up 2 touchdowns. You want to stay in the game.
Yeah, it was an interesting second quarter, Coach, because we had 2 turnovers on downs, and then we had the fumble. So it was a chance for a team to stretch away. Foothill's trying to get back after it.
Oh, good play by Arvin defense. Again, a win for Arvin defense. They really toughened up that last part of the second quarter. Held Foothill on a 4th and 1. But we did see something that we haven't seen all year. Foothill's band leader is a player.
Joshua Slicker. Defensive back is the drum major. Shout out to Slicker. Multi-talented. Ramirez has a man. It's going to be incomplete.
Pass intended for Anthony Perez.
Ramirez tried to zip that. Maybe if you put a little air under it and let Ramirez or Perez run under that, can get to the sideline. He's a big body, big target at 6'2".
When Ramirez rolls out of that wing, it just takes everybody with him, and you only had a one-man route there, so made it kind of easy for Arvin.
Third and 8 for the Trojans, and they'll come out in a true shotgun spread set. 2 receivers left. Ball's going to be caught by Martin, and Martin will have a first down.
Did a little tight wire there. He almost stayed in bounds, and if he did, he would have scored on that.
We talked about Martin having a questionable injury coming in. Looks like he's toughing it out. That was a nice route on the out. This will be 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Foothill breaking that wing early in this third quarter.
Trips left. Nice zone read inside, Coach.
So they break the wing and run the ball.
Very impressed with Andrew Trevino in the Trojans today. He's done a nice job.
Yeah, he's been their workhorse all year long. He's got, coming in this game, he had 111 carries for 775 yards.
That's pretty impressive.
He's got an outside chance to get 1,000 this year.
Wow.
In 10 games. He should definitely get it in 11.
All right, so we'll have a false start. That'll back the Trojans up. Definitely not what they needed. So we talked the legends, since we've seen some spread offense out of the Trojans this drive. I'll talk about some guys that used to catch some balls. One of them is my teammate that came up to the booth the last couple of weeks, Andy Puget. Used to love having to follow Andy around all day. He was my Compton Oiler Jack Frost teammate too.
Andy was a beast. He ran that slant route. He had a patent on that. He's such a big guy. you really couldn't because his strides were,
Right.
it didn't look fast, but he's on you right away. And had great hands.
Amazing hands. I hope he's not listening and heard me say that because he always talked about how he had the best hands. All right, 3rd and 7 for the Trojans.
I saw him last week at the Renegade game.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Having you up in the booth, Coach, watching you be out there for the coin toss. All right, shotgun spread set for Ramirez. Pressure, and he gets it off, and that's a nice pass and catch.
And that, I can't get the numbers. Is that 19 or 16? Might even be 15 there. I think
that
it's 15.
is 15.
Isaiah Daniels, sophomore.
So we talked about Foothill being a perennial running team, but you see how Ramirez, when he has time, he definitely can make some nice throws. You don't get to 1,000 yards on a season without doing that.
And again, I said it before, out of the double wing, you're throwing for 1,100 yards.
Right. 126.2 passer rating. And that brings up an interesting point that we talked about in one of our recent meetings about how great Stan Green's numbers were. Because Stan Green, our boss, shout out to our team at the Kern High School District Superintendents, but Stan was running Coach Dameron's offense for Bakersfield College in 1988. That's a whole lot of double tight in single receiver sets. And you still the number 2 all-time leading passer? You had to be slinging that thing.
A lot of play action out of that.
Arvin, Bear defense, continuing to make plays in the backfield, and I'm loving the energy. Number 9.
Since the last minute of the second quarter till now, Ramirez, the Foothill quarterback, has taken a pounding.
I mean, Gustavo Parra has made a lot of plays for the Arvin Bears. He's just going to need some help.
Yeah. Third and 10 for the Trojans. Again, a two down, should say 4 down area for them.
Ramirez looks right. We got a whistle, and that's going to be a false start.
We were talking about that. Foothill played a perfect game. No penalties, no mistakes that first quarter.
Great point, Coach, because, I mean, and this is one of the things that I've seen from Foothill. When they come out of that double wing set, it starts to change how efficient they are, and you see some of those mistakes. We saw that in the Miramonte game when they went, they were very successful in the double wing, and they would go to that spread set to try to create some mismatches, and it just broke the rhythm of the offense.
Yeah.
3rd and 15 for the Trojans. Ramirez with the pump and go. Has a man but overthrows, and that's going to be incomplete. Good coverage by number 14, Roy Rosales. So that will bring up the punt team for the Trojans. And Coach, like you said, the Trojans got the ball coming out of the half. They might not have got points out of the drive, but they took a chunk out of that clock already.
Yeah. 6:30 left in the third quarter. This is the first time Foothill's punted.
Fourth and 14 for the Trojans. High snap. Going to be caught. And a line drive right down the middle. Brooks gathers it, gets it up the field. Still on his feet. A huge hit.
Ooh. He gave one out and he took one.
Wow, gotta love the intensity.
So he's even Steven on that one.
Nice hit by number 10, Adam Ruelas.
Great job by the Arvin defense.
And, Coach, you know, we saw the Arvin offense, how quick strike they can be. Sadly, since then, they've had some bumps in the road, just not being able to get snaps.
And they've done everything so far. You've got to beat a double wing team, you've got to get 3 stops and 2 turnovers. And they got 2 stops and 1 turnover right now. So
ball's handed off on the inside run. That's going to be Osorio. Nice carry for 7 yards, brings up 2nd and 3.
And we talked about Foothill. They've got something to play for. They've got to can get a co-championship tonight with a win.
Hand off on inside run. That's going to be nice. First down yardage out to the 37-yard line for the Arvin Bears.
Like we said, Arvin's got to run the table from this game and the next game to grab a share of the championship in the Horizon League.
You know, you got to love the Horizon League, man. You got Miramonte, Arvin, and Foothill, and Del Oro all east of Cottonwood Road.
Nice tackle there by Jesse Diaz for Foothill.
Diaz for Foothill. Who does that remind you of? Oh, one of my quarterbacks from Bakersfield College, the great Vic Diaz, former Foothill Trojan that gave our drillers some fits in '92.
Yeah.
Vic is working up at Bakersfield College now, doing a lot of amazing things. So proud of my big bro. But right now we got the Bears, and we got play action. And that's going to be incomplete. Good coverage by number 5, Brandon Valenzuela. Foothill wasn't fooled at all on that play action either, Coach.
No. David Lopez, the intended receiver, number 11 for Arvin.
All right, 3rd and 10. This is a crucial 3rd and 10 for the Bears because if they can get some of this, they may try to go for it on 4th down. But if not, they'll be right back punting. He looks left, looks right, has a man, and it's going to be incomplete. They try to go back to that dig route again, Coach.
Yeah, they did. You know, Foothill's double covering Brooks out there, and they've got a linebacker trying to wall the slot guy, and they haven't sent him up the seam. All they do is, because he's by that outside backer pretty fast, but they're still looking to break Brooks free.
Yeah, and that highlights your wisdom, Coach, because every now and then you want to use your top gun as a distraction.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that a lot. We haven't seen anybody else from the Bears offense do anything outside of what Brooks has done. Nice punt. And that's going to be a bounce.
Foothill bounce on that one.
All right, so the Trojan defense bows up again, and, you know, they continue to find a ways to get off the field, Coach.
4:14 left in the 3rd quarter. Foothill 16, Arvin 7.
You know, Coach, we highlight our athletes on the field. We definitely got to make sure we shout out the young ladies, the cheerleaders. They had an amazing halftime performance, had the little Golden Empire Youth football cheerleaders out there. And we'll talk about them in a few seconds as Foothill goes right back to that power. Trevino. Wow, amazing 17-yard run by Andrew Trevino.
Foothill going back to doing what they do best.
And they're right back at the line of scrimmage, Coach. Right back to the same play. Oh, my goodness, Trevino running hard. And he's going to be close to first down yardage again. He's going to have it.
Aiden Martinez with the tackle for Arvin. He didn't make that tackle. Trevino's would score.
And they're right back at the line of scrimmage. Same play 3 times in a row. And the Arvin Bears said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And not fool me 3.
Almost looked like a face mask on there, but apparently not. Because the white hat had a much better look than I did.
Yeah, and it looks like Trevino saying he might have got poked in the eye. It's like, how does this happen? All right, 2nd and 9 for the Trojans. And you got to admire the conditioning of this offensive line to get right back up there like that. And they go right back to the left side on that power. He's going to have about 5 yards to the 32-yard line, and that's Vasquez.
Going to bring up about 3rd and 5 for the Trojans.
.242 remaining to play here on Kern High Network. Trojans marching. Vasquez is still pushing forward, and he fights to get back to the line of scrimmage, and this is going to be a crucial upcoming 4th down. Foothill will quick huddle this time as Arvin swaps out personnel. All right, so Ramirez, double wing set. Looking to draw him off sides. And now we have a timeout on the field. Trojans.
So what do you do here if you're Foothill? It's 4th and 5 out of that double wing.
Well, we've seen them get some pressure being the Bears in some of these last pass plays, Coach. If you are going past, what are you going if you've been seeing that pressure?
Yeah, so they tried to draw Arvin off sides there. So now they're going to have to sit down or get off the pot here. So they're going to go for it.
Right, I mean, really, you're in no man's land.
Yeah.
In that with that 32-yard line mark. They've been in spread, they've been in wing, so let's see what they're coming back out. Looks like double wing personnel, Coach, so they might be on the ground again.
Well, they need 5 yards here.
Oh, and that's what you don't want is a false start. And we say this once a week, too. This is why coaches have gray hair or none at all, because of plays like that. When you have an opportunity, you take a timeout, you get everybody together, you say, all right, guys, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. And then you get a pre-snap penalty.
Yeah.
It blows everything away.
And, of course, the last thing you say out of the huddle when you get them on the sideline, don't jump off sides.
Don't jump. And what do?
So now, 4th and 10 for Foothill. Looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field, but they're going to go spread.
Ramirez, shotgun spread set. Looks left.
Oh,
great
Arvin.
Defense. So that's going to be another turnover on downs. Great defense by Arvin.
That was Keith Leon.
Wow, so Keith Leon
gets his hand up, deflects the pass. Foothill, Arvin defense have been playing some ball here since the end of the second quarter through this third quarter.
Coach, that's their third, 4th down stop. You know, that one was the turnover, the fumble that they caused, but then 2 turnovers on down.
Yeah.
Great defense by the Bears. I'm sure Johnny Rose is somewhere smiling. Trips open set for the Bears. Quarterback has a man down the seam.
We were talking about that. They've got Brooks on the outside here. That's what went wrong there is number 14 drifted too far inside. Roy Rosales, if he would have kept it up the seam, away from that free safety, he had a chance.
Well, Coach, that's another one where you pulled your crystal ball out because you said they needed to attack that seam route because those backers can't stay with them. I love seeing you be right all the time.
Oh, we got a face mask on that one.
Whoa, and that was a huge face mask right at the mesh point. Going to bring a first. And now it looks like the Arvin Bears may be getting hit with something, how that offensive lineman reacted. Oh, and they called the holding. Okay, so they did get the face mask, but it's going to offset.
That's not going to help Arvin.
Wow. Wow, tough break for Arvin as they thought they would get that face mask first down. But now they're going right back to the air, and that's going to be incomplete.
Out to the right side, incomplete. Around the 42. Third down. What about that defense?
Tough ball to catch, but players got to make plays.
We say that every week, Coach. I mean, coaches get a lot of flack when you're not winning games and scoring points, but when you're dialing up the right things, players got to execute. They got to have the internal desire for their success to make the play.
That's right.
That we've seen multiple balls go through the hands of some Bear receivers tonight.
3rd and 10 for Arvin.
QB looks left. Rosales.
Oh, he's got him.
Nice. Pass is caught.
Foothill territory. Around the 42.
That looks like number 3.
Aaron
Lopez on the catch. Nice ball.
Yeah, good composure by Rosales in the pocket. He kind of just stepped back there, surveyed the field, and made a nice throw.
Coach, you can tell the difference when he has protection. There was actually nobody in his face for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
And he dropped that one in there. Nice pass.
We've seen him before. I remember him against South High last year. And
yeah. Middle screen
Oh,
is dropped
my.
again.
Couple flag, couple pass.
Roy Rosales with the drop.
Rosales, the quarterback. Did you see that throw?
Yeah, it was a
Little
it was a
side
little
on. That was Steve Young-esque, a lefty. You know, you get Cade McDown, the old UCLA guy, would make that throw all the time. That is was a nice throw. And he put it on the money.
Yeah, it was right through his hands. It was a little hot, but it was right where it had to go because he had to zip it.
Yeah.
And like you said, he basically zipped it around the left tackle's tailbone. Trips open set for the Bears. They go handoff. Oh, still on his feet. He's broke about 5 tackles, but he won't break those, and that's going to be about 20 yards of running for 3 yards up to the 40.
Alejandro Osorio.
Oh, we have a Foothill Trojan down. That gives us a chance to take an injury timeout here on Kern High Network. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back. Injured player for the Trojans is 64, Jesse Diaz, getting up and walking on his own strength. You know, some toughness in that Foothill blood. And I'm going to go ahead and remind y'all, my mama, the late, great Renelle Marie Stafford, Foothill Trojan. So I got a little Foothill Trojan blood in me, too. Oh, and you got movement by the offense and the defense.
Avalo, Nathan. You know what I thought was going to be maybe get out of hand when Foothill went up 16-7 early in that second quarter. I thought, Arvin may be in for a long night, but I was wrong.
Yeah, those defensive stops, Coach. I mean, and it wasn't bad football. It's just really just good defense.
Yeah, and Arvin's still in the game and made quite a few mistakes, dropped balls. Fumble on fourth down over here.
Right, just got to find a way to get some rhythm. And then you got false start again. Wow. And that's the tough thing, too, when you're trying to fight your way back and you keep stubbing your toe with SIWs. I made that up a couple of weeks ago, self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah. 12 seconds, 10 seconds left in this third quarter. I don't think they're going to get this playoff.
So that is the end of the third quarter here on Kern High Network. We'll take a break and be back with fourth quarter action right after this. All right, we're back on Kern High Network. Kenny Calvin, the Hall of Famer, Rick Van Horn, the future Hall of Famer of music and directing, Kevin Willie. Right now we got the Arvin Bears with the trips open. Quarterbacks launching it into coverage. Oh, and that's going to be incomplete. Good play made by the safety, staying on top of things. Had he turned around and ran, he could have caught that for interception, Coach.
Isaiah Davis. That should
that's
Isaiah
nephew.
Daniels.
Oh,
excuse me.
Daniels. Got you.
That should have been intercepted.
Yeah, I mean, because, it brings me back to just being able to turn and run, Coach. I miss turning and running and going and finding that ball, man. Because that's one thing you guys got to realize as secondary players, we used to be offensive guys. Now we got to get the ball ourselves.
And that's the thing you dream about as a safety there, because the receiver was 5 yards away, so all you had to do is become a receiver.
Absolutely. But, hey, the Trojans' defense bows up again. They get that punt off. This punter's been pretty impressive.
Oh. Daniel's a little shook there. Didn't want any part of that punt.
All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. And, Coach, you highlighted the point. Once a run-dominant team gets up on you a couple of scores, they don't really have to go basketball on grass. All they got to do is manage the clock, because you're trailing 9 points. You're going to need the ball twice. Last time they had the football for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what their purpose is for this double wing.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
Take small chunks. Eat up that clock. Don't turn it over, but don't make mistakes either. Offsides.
And right as you say that,
Motion.
we got motion, and, you know, Coach, I say it every 10 seconds, man. You're right all the time. You couldn't even get the sentence out of your mouth.
Yeah, and then you know, you hear NFL quarterbacks, 180, set it. So what happens is you're told to go on set, okay? Because it's when they say first touch, but it's going to be set hut. And so if you go on set, quarterback's always coming with a hut, so you're always going to be right on time.
Right. Thanks for that analysis, Coach.
So if the quarterback pauses, though,
that's when you get those
that's
false
when
starts.
you get that, because they're going to go, they know if I'm leaving on set, by the time I start moving, a hut's going to be there.
And you make a fantastic point, Coach, and that's what we were saying. It's so hard when you have an offense that's playing 2 quarterbacks, because now the offensive line has to get used to 2 different voices and timing and cadences. That's not something that we're seeing here, but we've seen it with other teams that we have to deal with, and that causes a lot of conflict on offense.
Yeah. 2nd and 14 for the Trojans.
Handoff on the end around trap. Tough running inside. Whoa.
Looked like a pinball in there.
Yes, he did.
That was Trevino.
You know, when we have these kind of contests, there's always people on campus.
3rd and 8 for the Trojans. Not where they wanted to be.
3rd down and 9.
Big play for the Arvin defense. If they can get a stop here, they got a chance.
This might be the biggest play of the game for them. And they do get the stop.
So it's going to be 4th down and about a short 5, but Foothill's going to punt.
Huge stop for the Arvin Bears. Foothill coming out for one of their rare punts. Will punt from the 15-yard line. Because one of the points I was going to make, you know, it's always amazing support staff at these contests. I want to definitely take time to shout out the SAM units that are out there putting in work. Got my number 9, Valentine over here.
Brooks has got to catch this ball and get a return.
He has actually. Oh, and he lets it bounce, Coach, and that just cost him 20 yards. Wow, so had he caught that, he had an opportunity.
You know, you got to get the ball in his hands some way, somehow, and that's one of them when your players return punts.
Especially when your offense hasn't been clicking.
Yeah.
You know, you want to take advantage of those special team opportunities. And really, it gives you an opportunity to jumpstart the offense and get the quick score that you need to get back in the game.
And with Brooks, he could take it, always has the capability to take it to the house.
I agree. Chain's still getting set up. We'll have a 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. And they go end around trap.
They've done that about 4 times, and Foothill's done a good job on it about 3 times. So
I guess that's the one positive thing of seeing plays similar to yours that you've practiced against as well.
Yeah.
Second and 8. Pass outside is going to be broken up. Amazing play by the safety, Daniels. So we might have gave Daniels a little bit of flack for not getting the pick, but that was a great break on the ball there.
Yeah. Just catch it next time. You know, if I'm Arvin, I might take Brooks. They're always putting him on the top of that trip set on the outside, but he's the kind of guy I'm going to force Foothill to make a decision. Put him on the single side. If you single him up, we're going to him. If you're going to double him, then I'm coming over here to the trip side because I'm going to have one more guy than you do.
And they go to Brooks. Brooks is going to have a first down. You know, you see why they like to get him the ball wherever they can because he's an impact player. He can take it the distance. And one thing I want to make sure I highlight, too, because I've already said it, is it's 8 minutes to go for Arvin, but I don't see any urgency. You still need 2 scores.
Yeah.
And you got to start picking up your tempo because you haven't really moved the ball successfully already. You're going to need to get those scores quick. Rosales. And it's picked off. Cross the 40. Nice block. Cross the 40 again to the 20. One man to beat. Can he get by him? He does. Touchdown, Trojans. The pick 6 by number 6.
Cash McAfee.
Cash.
If you remember
McAfee.
back, Miramonte, he sat back and I think he got 2 of them against Miramonte.
That's the first time we've heard his name tonight.
Hey.
Yeah.
Amazing play by Cash McAfee. We do have an injured player.
What's that yellow thing out there right on the other side?
Oh, do we have a flag? We do have a flag right at the 49-yard line, and it was right at that block that sprung the run. Cash McAfee. I remember Cash had those 2 picks coming downhill.
Yeah. That was the same way, coming down, working downhill, getting good depth, and then be able to work downhill.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. You got to make the Wu-Tang reference when you get a Cash interception. But let's see what this penalty is, because if it's on the offense.
Well, Arvin's moving down like it was a score, but.
Yeah, it may be like a personal foul, maybe something that happened low, blocking low.
That break open block was further down here from that flag.
Let's
Got
see
you.
here.
Thanks, Kev. All right, so they are marching back.
Well, Arvin caught a break there.
Oh, yes, they did, because that was an amazing return. And we have a small conference as they pick up the yellow laundry, but they are marching that back, so it looks like it's going to be
still be Foothill's ball, but
legal block in the back.
I don't know, but that wasn't
or blindside block.
It must have been a crackback blindside.
So we got Mr. Woolley showing us the replay. We'll get an opportunity to check that while Foothill gets lined up.
7:37 left in the 4th quarter. Foothill 16, Arvin 7.
Oh, that looked like a good block. It actually looked like the Arvin.
I stand corrected. That's right where that that block was.
Well, it looked like the Arvin player blasted the Foothill player, and it ends up being a penalty on Foothill. That was, Coach, when you see that, when you watch that back, the Arvin Bear player ran and pancaked the Foothill guy, and he got called for the hold. So maybe he pulled him down on the way. All right, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans, and they'll go right back to that NyQuil offense. We call it NyQuil because they're going to put you to sleep with this lead. Oh! Talk about a huge hit. And guess who? Xavier Brooks. Come on.
No, are you sure?
Boy, the way he got up, it looked like that was Xavier Brooks on that tackle. It was a couple of players there, but wow. Huge tackle. Oh, and it looked like we got penalty yardage.
Yep, because
wow. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
A little taunt.
Little taunt there at the end.
Oh.
I thought it was Aaron Lopez, but I couldn't see it.
Well, no, you could be right, Coach. I mean, because there was two guys that established that impact. Wow. That was a huge hit. And what I like most about it, it was fundamental, lower your butt, drive, and
pick up
speed
and pile,
the feet. Wow. Best hit of the game. Trojans coming out in the trips left. Got to think that they're just trying to widen out these lanes for some inside zone read.
Yep.
Ramirez keeps it. He's going to be tackled for a gain of 1.
That was Brooks there for sure.
Woo, man, I'm still buzzing from that play right there. All right, so 6:34 remaining to play. Trojans looking to march towards Sparta through the Bears.
2nd and 9. 6:18 and counting. Foothill might be in their time clock mode here. So Ramirez is going to take as much time as he can, and he better. Foothill steps up, 54.
And Coach, Ramirez has been taking a lot of punishment.
Yeah.
He's getting up slower and slower. And that's something that you don't want if you're going into a situation where you're probably about to win league.
Well, and then the second part of that, he's got to jog to the sideline every play, get the play, jog back. That was Aiden Martinez on the tackle.
Trips right for the Trojans. Ramirez rolls right, looking deep, throws it across his body, and it's complete for the first down. Gutsy throw by Ramirez.
It was, and that was Luis Correa with the catch, number 2. It gives Foothill a first down in Arvin territory.
Wow. All right, Coach, we got a few more scores on the next dead ball. I'll give them to you. Right now, we got a 1st and 10 as the Trojans try to put this game away with 4:30. Handoff inside. Trevino has had a big game tonight. And that's an 8-yard gain.
Yeah.
Speaking of big games, Coach, we haven't talked about it all night as we start nearing the end. How you feeling about player of the game? I mean, it's been an interesting game. Not very flashy, but it's been some dominance in spots.
Yeah, you know I know we usually go with a winning team, but we'll have to see how close it comes. As you can see, Foothill in the time mode, so he's looking at that back judge and he's counting off. So.
And that's going to be a false start as that right tackle jumps.
Yeah, so, you know, you've got Trevino, of course, for Foothill. You've got Anthony Perez, who's played a heck of a game. For Arvin, of course, you've got Brooks, who has stood out. Number 9, Para. That's got to get a vote or two. Who knows?
Absolutely. He played great for the Arvin Bears defense.
We've called Aiden Martinez a couple times, so we're going to see. It'll be interesting This game's got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left.
And they taking a shot, Coach. And it's Daniels with the catch. Back shoulder throw, and Daniels makes the catch. Gutsy call by Coach Weddle, and that just might do it.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, and now Daniels comes into the picture because on defense, you know, he's broke up a ball, has a couple catches.
I agree.
And that catch there, so.
But, man,
Like
that's
you said.
very interesting. True team exhibition. All right, Ramirez with a first and goal for the Trojans, basically.
You see Ramirez looking right at that referee, and when he starts counting, that's when he'll. There he goes. That's
Hand off
gonna
to
be-
Trevino.
Oh!
Trevino in for the touchdown. Boom. Wow. So, you know, Trevino probably heard the conversation
Yeah,
going
he's,
on.
"Wait
and
a
was like,
minute."
hey, wait a minute, Coach.
Hold my soda.
Hold my soda. So the Trojans go in and go up 22-7, and they will be going for two as they usually do. Gotta love the way that they finished this drive. Execution all the way down. Throw to Hughes, throw to Daniels, and it sets up a Trevino touchdown. Now you got the big fella, and he's in.
Anthony Perez. I don't know if we've ever seen anybody score 3 two-point conversions like Perez has tonight.
And Perez puts him up on
Yeah.
the point chart too. Wow! So the Foothill Trojans go up 24-7 with 2:38 to play. We'll take a quick break and be back on Kern High Network. All right, welcome back to Kern High Network, live from Foothill High School. The Hall of Famer Rick Van Horn, producer director Kevin Willie, and the one-year Hall of Famer myself. Sneak that one in. It was a great Hall of Fame week a couple weeks ago. Enjoyed sharing the night with you, Coach. You know, just hearing you reminisce and talk about some of the things that put you in the position to love the game inside out, man. It was beautiful.
It was fun. Fun weekend. All right, 2:32 left in this fourth quarter. Foothill 24, Arvin 7. Now your back's to the wall if you're Arvin.
Yeah, and you know, the way they came out offensively, you thought it was going to be a nice show that they put on, but the Foothill defense adjusted very well and found Brooks and said, hey, we're not going to allow this guy to beat us. Rosales passes the line of scrimmage, scrambles forward. He's going to go down.
Looked like he tripped himself there. Got the turf monster got him.
Yep, Turf Monster got him down. So it's going to be first or second and about 3 after the first down carry for the Arvin Bears. You know, so with this game, 2 minutes left, and the Bears needing multiple scores, you can safely say that the Trojans are going to basically solidify themselves as co-champs
Yes.
of the Horizon League tonight unless something weird happens. Oh! And that's going to be incomplete. And the Arvin receiver is going to be down. So that's the last thing we need in the last minute of a game. Hopefully he can.
Well, Rosales
Get
got
up.
lucky there because he put that ball too far inside, and he's letting them safeties
Right.
make a living off of him.
I agree, Coach. You know, going to the well a little bit much.
Keep that ball on the outside.
You know, so we have the injury. It gives us a chance to stay here and thank our team at the Kern High School District Superintendent's Office, our Hall of Fame boss, Stan Green. I also want to thank the Foothill staff for hosting us tonight. Principal Sidney Peterson, AP of Instruction, Mr. Brutane, Doug Burdick, the AP of Administration, Dean of Student Behavior, Ryan Aldrich, Lindsey Weichel, Athletics Director Mike Bizod, and Activities Director Lisa Granada.
Well, this will put Arvin at 3-6 on the season and 1-2 in Horizon League, so that will put them probably out of a contention for a league championship. They've got Miramonte next week. Foothill will go to 3-0 in the Horizon League, 6-3 overall, and they've got a tough one next week with Golden Valley.
Shout out to Coach Kane in Golden Valley. Had a chance to give him and one of his players an award at Jockey Club this week.
And determine whether if Golden Valley wins tonight, they'll be 3-1 in league against a 3-0 Foothill team next year, and that'll be for the league championship.
Wow.
So Foothill's got no matter what, Foothill's got a co-championship.
So the toughest thing, it looks like we're going to have the ambulance come out onto the field, and what that means is that we can't start this last minute and 43 seconds until another ambulance gets here to the game. So we definitely, hope that the player and his injury.
And we haven't got a number on him yet because he's been flat on his back.
And it looks like it's going to be number 12 for the Arvin Bears, Aziz Achoa. So with that, we'll take a quick break and come back on Kern High Network. We have 1:43 to play, but it's going to be a while as we can't start the contest until we have another ambulance for this injured player.
If they take him off.
If they take him off.
2 weeks ago, we had an ambulance come out and they checked him over and they got him out. But yeah, that remains to be seen.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The injured player for Arvin was Aziz Ochoa. It looked like a lower leg injury. We definitely hope that the young man isn't injured too seriously and can make a speedy recovery. Right now, we have a 3rd and 3 for Arvin. They're going to go right back to the play that they started the game with, and that's going to be dropped. And that's the play that Brooks scored on in that first drive, Coach.
Yeah, it looked like he had some running room there if he would have maintained that catch.
But you made a great point during that break. It's amazing how cold it gets once we have to sit for a few minutes, and the same thing happens for those players.
Yeah.
So we're 4th and 3 for the Arvin Bears with 1:38 to play in this contest.
Yeah, if you're Arvin, you never want to see one of your teammates get rolled away in the ambulance. Oh, got him.
Gonzalez. Oh, and it nearly picked off again, and that looked like it was Cash McAfee again.
And now we've got a flag.
Just wanted to make the point that there is another ambulance here that just arrived before the other one went off the field, and he's still sitting there at the edge of the gate. He hasn't left the facility yet.
Yeah, kudos to our paramedics and EMTs. One of the rules is that we can't continue a game without having medical staff and personnel on site. And that penalty is going to be against Arvin, so that's going to be another turnover on downs. And talk about some defense by the Trojans. They gave up that touchdown in that first drive, Coach, and since then they locked in.
Yeah, and Arvin had some chances. Foothill did do a good job putting pressure on Rosales all night long. Very few times was he able to sit back and really do what he wanted to do and have time to get the ball off.
I agree 1,000%, Coach.
So we've got minute 33 left in this game, 24-7, Foothill over Arvin.
Coach, while we have that quick break and the kneel down, I'm going to thank you for the early Halloween. We had, Coach had us decked out, man. We had a smorgasbord up here, Haribo, gummy bears. We had the Twizzlers, both flavors.
Yeah, thank you.
We had a sweet party up here, man. But
my doctor thanks you.
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, we sweated that out. But as we near the 1 minute mark, Coach, one thing about these games, it definitely was as good as advertised from how they competed through the contest. It was a pretty close game.
Yeah, it was closer than the score.
Definitely.
Says on the scoreboard, 24-7. This will be a victory for Foothill. We got to talk about player of the game. So, a lot of candidates. Anthony Perez, Trevino, Cash, McAfee came in left.
Well too.
Number 15, Isaiah Daniels for Foothill. Then you've got Xavier Brooks.
You got
Keith Leon.
Gustavo Parra played very well today.
So,
also,
well, who are you going to go with?
No, it's on you, Coach. I was saying Julian Sarabia played well, too, for
Arvin.
He did. I just wanted to give him a shout-out because him and Salvador Rea played very well. But player of the game on you, man.
I'm going to have to do he did it when he had to, Andrew Trevino.
So Andrew Trevino will be our Kern High Network player of the game. He did a lot of great things on both sides of the football, but the way he operated that offense as that feature wing back was very impressive And he'll be our Kern High Network player of the game as the Trojans take down the Bears. It's been fun. We'll be back with you next week. For Kern High Network, I am Kenny Calvin, the Hall of Famer Rick Van Horn, the future Hall of Famer Kevin Willie. We will see you next week.